Well, he'll be going to Minnesota to call the game, and which is awesome. Baldy, good morning, my brother. I see you're in your office at NFL Films.
Breaking down Joe Flacco last night, man, and that performance of his.
Dude, can I tell you, I loved last night.
I know.
I enjoyed that game. First of all, you and I love Flacco. Like Flacco. We love Joe. They even ran the read off, and he keeps it. He talks it. Oh, I was loving it.
There wasn't one guy in Pittsburgh that went with Flacco. Not one guy. They all went to the back, man. It was a brilliant call. And Joe, I mean, look, he's 41. I mean, I said it in training camp when I saw him. Like, he can still move, man.
Yes.
Like, he's not a stiff old man. Like, he can still move after all these years.
And you listen, I don't care if he's just an arm. That arm can sling it. He can always sling it,
really
dude.
It's remarkable because we saw Peyton's arm die. We saw Favre's arm die. We've seen Drew Brees' arm die. We've seen all these old guys that played. Their arms all died. Joe Flacco's arm is the same as when he came out of Delaware. It had changed.
It is. It's live.
How does that happen? How does it happen?
Like, he's just this, he's just got those Italian genetics, man. What can I say, man? He's I don't know. Like, it's like nothing has really changed. He looks exactly the same except for a little gray in the beard. Like, the body looks the same. You go out to the golf course with him, he looks just the same as he did in 2008. Like, nothing's really changed. It's, stress-free life, I guess.
Olive oil, all right?
Olive oil. That's it, cuz. You're right. That's it.
Olive oil is the elixir. The elixir, Danny. What a fun game, though. I do love the fact it was Rodgers and,
well, that's what happened. I mean, honestly, obviously we're going to get to our game, but, when you get great quarterback play, everybody is entertained on every level. But we're all entertained. Like, that was a great quarterback duo. Like, we need more 40-year-old quarterbacks that can play like that. But, to listen to Joe, even in the post game, talk about, like, he wasn't really sure about some of the plays, and he just went on instincts, which, honestly, like, you can't go wrong sometimes. You got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins out there. You're like, all right, they couldn't cover either one of them. So, that's what they wanted. That's why they made the trade. They're like, we know we got these beasts out here. We know they'd open up the run game. They hadn't been able to run the ball all year. But, his throwing and his passing loosened everything up last night.
It did. It completely did. But your point you make is so spot on, because when you got those receivers, it just becomes backyard football. And, he's got 10 days with the playbook, but that's what it is, right? Like, and you saw them, and the connection was there. Like, you chased. Like, I was happy I love Jamar Chase, and I was happy for him. Right? I was happy for him because he played with joy last night.
Yeah, that's how he is. But that's what kind of a kid he is, though, man. Like, honestly, nothing's too big. Like, he knows he's good without ever beating his chest. Maybe he'll give you a little flex, after a catch. But he's not really a trash talker.
Nah.
Like, he's just a good dude, man. He's a good dude and plays the game the right way. And he's a beast. I mean, he could be a starting tailback for probably every single team in this league almost. Like, because he's so strong from the waist down. His hands are he catches everything with his hands. Like, he's just an amazing player, man.
He is. He really is. A lot of fun. The league. Like, I don't know. I just freaking love football, man. I was watching last night going, this is the best, man. It's just such good stuff.
Doesn't it frustrate you, though? He's only there 10 days, and he's slinging it all over. And, like, we're having our issues here.
I know.
Well,
but
there's mitigating factors.
He's a natural. He's been like that, since he started in 2008. Like, he's just a natural thrower. He's accurate. The ball, did you ever see the ball not with a tight spiral? Does he ever throw a flutter?
No, never.
It's unbelievable. The ball comes out tight, firm spiral. Every single throw looks exactly the same.
It does. It's beautiful. Like, I love I see a well-thrown football. It's poetic look. Like, just to see it, the spirals, like that beautiful spin on the ball. Oh, man. It's what he does. Now, the Eagles.
That's not a good offensive line he's playing behind either.
Well, they protected really well last night. They got a rookie right guard in Jalen Rivers, who played both guard and tackle at Miami last year. Dalton Reisner was on a scrap heap At the start of the season, he was unsigned. He was just out there. Minnesota cut him. But he was a former tackle at Kansas State. Those are two guards. Zeus played really good last night. The center is a stud, Ted Karras. And they protected the edges. And, Herbig and TJ and Highsmith were a non-factor all night.
Yeah, yeah.
But it also helps when the quarterback gets rid of the ball on time almost every single play.
Well,
There's the shot.
no, but that's the truth. I mean, in the passing game, the ball has to be out on time. I mean,
honestly, for almost every single play last night that Joe threw, I think it was 43, whatever passes was. Honestly, you could count to 3, and by the time you got to 3, the ball was gone. Almost every single throw. Now that's the design of the offense. That's a guy that, understands you got to get the ball out. They've had some issues protecting either quarterback that was in there this year, whether it was Burrow or, Browning. And so just count to 3 and see if the ball's out. Now, try that on Sunday and see how the Eagles are doing in that town. So that's
no. Well, Herbie talked about it last night. Like, you play this long in the league, like there's nothing that's going to freak you out. And like you watch Flacco play, and he never looks overwhelmed in the moment. Like, he may miss a throw here, he may get sacked, but he'll always come back the next play like it does. Like, I've seen this before.
What was fun for me last time? So I'm up here and I got screens all over the place, right? So I've got the Amazon feed with Herb Street and everybody over here. But over here, I've got a handheld camera that I've got their feed from the Cincinnati sideline.
Wow.
So in between, I knew the play that was coming because there was a delay between the games. So anyways, I got the play over here in real time every time Joe or Aaron threw the ball. But during the timeouts and everything, they'd have the camera on the sidelines. So, Joe just comes over and it's just, honest to God, and he might as well be on his lazy boy at home in Audubon, New Jersey, or Haddonfield, New Jersey. Like, he just comes over, he sits down, Burrow's over there, he's got his headset on, he's, Jake Browning is talking to him. Like, you would have just thought, like, honestly, like, this was just a nice Friday afternoon practice. Like, he never went to look at, I never saw him look at a piece of video. These guys are always studying the video.
Yeah.
He didn't look at one video thing the entire day. Not one coach came over to him and said anything to him. It was just Joe. It was just Joe, and here's the offense. Like, he didn't come over and talk to the offensive line. The receivers a little bit further down. He just came over, sat down, and like, okay, let's get up. Oh, we got to go win the game. Let's go kick a field goal. It was unreal.
I know. Yeah, it's pretty wild. All right, let's tackle Sunday. You know what's awesome? Before we get to the problems and the issues, but there is a story. You're a story guy. You appreciate a good story. You and I lived the Wentz thing together. Like, when they drafted him, and you and I are doing the show together.
The whole draft process. You
Yes.
wanted him the entire draft process over Goff. Remember it was 2016 like it was yesterday.
Yeah. We lived it.
Yeah.
And now, all these years later, here it is. The Eagles, in desperate need of a win, have to go to the place where they won the Super Bowl, their first ever Super Bowl, and play the quarterback. And the quarterback is looking at that team with the ultimate, like, vengeance. As much as he'll never say it, but you want to beat them. Like, if you're Wentz, your whole career just went sideways in Philadelphia.
Well, he was out of football, completely out of football. Nobody was even touching him. And, when they made the trade, Sam Howell to the Eagles, we talked about it. I said Carson going to Minnesota is going to be a good thing. I didn't predict that J.J. McCarthy was young and he'd had injuries already. And obviously he's got the high ankle sprain. Whether he's ready or not, I think Kevin O'Connell just wants Carson to play. And not just for this reason, because the Eagles are coming to town. Like, he gives them the best chance to play. And a little bit like Carson is only 9 years into this business. But a little bit like Flacco, like, the arm is just the same. He's the same cyborg. Like, he's still fast. He's still big. He's still strong. Like, all those things, none of that has changed. Despite all the injuries he's had, he can still run. He's still really strong. The arm is as strong as ever. So, I mean, you're looking at the same guy that the Eagles released, and honestly, the talent around him is really good. So I'm happy that he's getting this opportunity. And I thought that unless McCarthy was 100%, like they were going to go with Carson.
And you brought this up. He had stints with Andy, stints with McVay,
Right?
and now KOC, who's one of the best. And
Well, it's one thing to say, okay, is this going to be another reclamation project like Baker and Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold? It can be. The thing because it doesn't always happen. But you have to be a resilient individual. You have to keep working. You have to keep believing. You have to keep trying to get better, despite what the media is telling you every day, or what teams are telling you when they cut you, or bench you, or release you. You have to be the component to this whole thing is you have to be extremely resilient. And you can say that about Carson to this point because it hadn't gone well, since that last year in Philadelphia. It hadn't gone well anywhere. And here he is, still winning football games right now. And he's with a very, very talented play caller.
it's funny, you nailed it. My question was exactly that we saw that with Baker, we saw that with Darnold. Can he be another one of them where all of a sudden he comes back and winds up having a career?
Well, it's all possible. And, because we've seen number one draft picks like J.J. McCarthy, like God bless him. We need great young quarterbacks. We need him to be good. But if he has to sit because Carson's just playing better and you play the hot hand, then that we have seen that play out before. We saw Aaron Rodgers sit for 3 years behind Brett Favre. I mean, it's about winning games and giving your team the best chance to win. And we'll find out. We'll find out if Carson can be that guy. I mean, I don't know if he could be Joe Flacco good last night, but he's played pretty well in these games. He came back and threw the winning touchdown against Cleveland over in London a couple weeks ago.
Is he still prone to hero ball?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit like that. I wouldn't say that gene is out of him, that they've just, taken that chromosome and eliminated. I think it's still there. But, the options that he has to throw to.
I mean,
it's every bit of what Joe Flacco was throwing to last night.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? Forget about the injuries and what happened, the events, but just him as a quarterback, like your eye, what does he have to do or fix to try to get to that?
Well, his fundamentals just get sloppy.
Yeah.
He's falling off his back foot with nobody around him. He doesn't step into his throws. I mean, Look, you come out of Bismarck, North Dakota, and you go to North Dakota State, you're always going to be physically the best player on the field. So you never really learn how to throw a football. You just use your upper body strength just to throw it. And so he's never really had to learn how to use weight distribution, how to,
step into it all the time,
throw it, follow through. Like he still really struggles with a lot of those basic elements of throwing a football. He's just a big, strong kid that could just overpower people with his ability. And he did that for much of his college career and early in the NFL, but it caught up to him. And, when you can't complete passes and you're throwing swing passes and you're throwing it behind the back instead of in front of them and you're losing yards instead of gaining yards, it still counts as a completion, but you're not gaining any yards because the throw isn't where it needs to be.
Yeah, you're so right about that. It's such a great point that you make. That stuff gets drilled. Like you got to be maniacal with it. Like you forget Brady, but Brady, the way he attacked his fundamentals was in a maniacal fashion. Like he always did everything right. All those quarterbacks, that's it.
Yeah, but I mean, even like Peyton and Eli, they would go back to Duke. When their college coach was the head coach at Duke. And they would go back in the offseason. They'd spend a week just going through the fundamentals. You go down, it was funny when Peyton was like, Peyton watch, and he's leaving Indianapolis. Where's he going? Like, I could have told everybody, and nobody knew where he was. He was in Durham. He was working on his fundamentals. Like, he figured out, okay, Denver's the place, but people didn't know if he was going to Tennessee. They didn't know where he was going. And they didn't know where he was. I'm like, he's at Cameron Wade Stadium right now. Throwing footballs, Wallace Wade Stadium.
Yeah, yeah. All right, now to our squad. Now, listen, the one thing that's apparent when you watch I watch the Vikings on tape and look at it and go, all right, well, this Eagles team should be able to run on them. Like, I talked to somebody down there, like, I think it's pretty obvious what they're going to try to do, right? 2023 you did not have Saquon Barkley, and now you do. So when we talk about attacking the edges and we talk about getting this run game right, what do you see, Baldy?
Well, I mean, that's in theory. Yeah, it should. They should do that. They kind of jump around in front of you and they mug all the gaps and back out. And I mean, you should be able to run the ball against them. Other teams have, but the Eagles haven't shown any sort of inclination to be consistent in the run game at all and to stay with it. So I'm sure that's going to be a high priority. But that was their offseason emphasis, was to improve. Even though they finished the season last year ranked second in run defense, and they were very good. They went out and got Hargrave. They went out and got Jonathan Allen. They wanted to upgrade that position. They let Harrison Phillips go to the Jets. They wanted to upgrade that position inside to make it more difficult to run. And the opposite has happened. They hadn't been very good at it. So I would think that'd be a huge emphasis. But
hey, real quick, Paul. Real quick, but
yeah.
We're at OT.
Okay.
Overtime. We're at overtime. Overtime. Make sure you subscribe, right? If you're watching us on Roku or any of the streaming stuff, come to YouTube as always. Hit the like, hit subscribe. It helps. People love it. They love Baldy. Who doesn't? I'm with you.
No, but what I was saying though, cuz, is like everybody that wants to kind of get on track. And they've got a great running back. Okay, we got to run the ball. Well, okay, running the ball is important, but you're going to have to throw it too, and that's they have equal problems there. And if you just watch last night's game, there's not one single outside of a quarter against the Rams. The passing offense, the Eagles have never looked like any of those quarterbacks that threw the ball last night. And so at some point, you got to throw the ball with some anticipation. You've got to get guys free the way Jamar was. You want to play a bail corner like Slay last night was, and like Joey Porter. Well, Jamar's just going to sting you with the 15-yard out, and it's going to be thrown on timing, and his ball's going to be out before you come out of the break. Those kind of things you have to be able to do, and they don't happen frequent enough. And so, can the passing game, if the running game does take off, which would be good, can the passing game catch up to it right now? And I know they've been sitting there in these meetings and dissecting the first 6 weeks, and all these discussions is great. But ultimately, at US Bank Stadium, can you do it on the field in a pretty good atmosphere to do it in? I mean, it's
against a really smart,
loud.
Against a really smart defensive coordinator. Like when he shows you 0 and then backs out of it, that's confounded Jalen in the pass game before.
Well, it's confounded a lot. I mean, he's done it to Lamar. He's done it to everybody in this league over the last 5 years. Everybody, almost every team in this league has copied some part of what Flores really started. It started on a Thursday night when he was in Miami against the Ravens, and the Ravens had no answer for it, and they just kept bringing it. Now, you could get him out of that with 1 or 2 big pass plays. You get him right out of that whole thing. If you get him in a blitz 0 and you get AJ against, Byron Murphy Jr. or, Isaiah Rodgers, whoever's at corner, you could get them out of it. But if they have success, you're going to see a whole lot more of it.
How would you attack this whole thing? And what do you want to see from the Eagles pass game and how buttoned up? Now, we always talk about predictability, and it's been the buzzword throughout. They've been predictable for the last 5 years, right? Like that's just what they are. What can you do, knowing that you have a bye week coming up at some point with this offensive pass game? And then what do you want to see from Jalen and the receivers?
Well, I've always thought that Jalen throws a good deep ball. Like, we haven't seen very many of them this year. and we haven't seen very many successful ones. But I always thought he threw a good deep ball and he gave his receivers a chance to go get it, whether it was Devontae or to AJ. I'd like to actually see that. I mean, that would give both those receivers a boost of confidence. I feel like both those guys, no matter who they get matched up with, feel like they can win with the ball in the air. I'd like to see a little bit of some go ball action. We saw it last night. We saw the game-winning throw from Flacco to T. Higgins was a great deep ball.
Yeah.
We saw it with Aaron Rodgers to Freiermuth. Like, let's see the deep ball come back into this offense. We saw it week one against, when Jahan Dotson got behind Dallas and you got one there. It was a perfect throw. But I haven't seen any kind of, deep shots on any regularity. And I would say if you could block them up front, Jonathan Greenard, and I don't know if Van Ginkel's going or not, but block them up and let Jalen take a couple shots. I'd like to see that added to this offense right now. It might loosen things up in the run game a little bit.
I like what they had the one play to Devontae down the field where he's lined up in the slot. And, Devontae's nasty, man. Like, we talk about AJ all the time, but we forget how dangerous Devontae Smith is.
Oh, man, the guy won the Heisman Trophy, man. I mean, I'm not living in revisionist history. This guy is a dominant player. Dominant. Like I saw last week, I watch all these games, right? So, Cleveland and Jacksonville made a trade last week. It was a bizarre trade, but they traded corners. Tyson Campbell for Greg Newsome. So Greg Newsome goes out on the field last week for Jacksonville. And Seattle, the first plays on the field, here comes Jackson Smith and Jigba, 61 yards right down the field. Ran right by him. And, and Darnold put it right on him, 61-yard touchdown. I mean, they didn't wait till the guy even, stretched. He stepped on the field and went right at him, 61 yards. Like, I don't know. I mean, Byron Murphy Jr. is a good player. Had 6 interceptions last year. Isaiah Rodgers, they know who he is in Philly. I don't think either one of these receivers fear any of those guys. Like, take a go ball shot to these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Please.
Yes. You got to do it. You got to. And I think Jalen, we talked about this to start with when it comes to Flacco. Ball's got to be out. Like, you can't wait. Like, you just can't hesitate. Just let it go.
1, 2, 3. Design your offense like that. If you design your passing game like that, now it helps, but they've got elite receivers. Design it. 1, 2, 3, balls out.
Yeah.
Like if it gets to 4, you're holding it too long. If it gets to 4, okay, then you're allowed to move, scramble, buy some time, get to a loose play, get to the play beyond the X's and O's. But honestly, design the passing game by counting to 3. Like, you're not going to go wrong.
Yeah. A couple of quick storylines around the league because it's so wild, Baldy. Like, the Colts are 5-1. Tampa, you've been high on Tampa for 2 years now. You knew that Tampa, and once they get past, in fact, I was talking about this with Kevin Nagandi. Once they get, or Mike Garafolo, once they get past this stretch, like, because you got Detroit, you got Noah Buka, so it's going to be tough. But then they have beginning November and December, they're going to rack up tons of wins. Like, they could easily win the NFC. Be the number 1 seed.
I mean, last week, they're playing without Godwin, McMillan, and Evans, and they're throwing to a kid that I never even heard of.
And Bucky.
Jaron Johnson. I mean, Tez Johnson, 7th round pick.
Cam, yeah.
But, the other kid was a free agent off the street, catches a 38-yard touchdown pass. I mean, Baker's throwing it to the open guy. He's just relentless. I mean, it's 3rd and 14. He scrambles for 15, gets him a first down, huge play in the game. I mean, he's the MVP of this league right now, just because of how shorthanded he's played. He played without his all-pro left tackle for the first month. His starting center was playing left tackle. I mean, they got a backup to a backup right tackle right now. But nobody knows because Baker's overcome all of it. And defensively, their blitz schemes are as effective as anybody's in this whole business right now.
They're so interesting to like this NFC between Tampa, Detroit, Green Bay. Rams are weird. Seattle. Yeah, you like Seattle, don't you? Smith and Jigba is unbelievable. They're like, you want to talk about every week. It's a shame Ibuka got hurt because the two of them, every week, all they did was put up ridiculous numbers.
Yeah, well, you have to, if you look at Seattle right now, this is Clint Kubiak's offense, and I mean, it's a symphony when you watch this thing orchestrated the way they do it. And when Jackson Smith and Jigba came out of Ohio State, we thought, okay, he's going to be your natural slot receiver. That's what he was at Ohio State. Well, in this offense, he's a pure number one receiver. Like he's what we saw Jamar Chase do last. He could do everything. Like he is all these kids from Ohio State, except maybe Marvin Harrison, but they all can run. They're all route runners. They all really know how to beat man coverage. They all know how to find the soft spot in the zone. They're all good after the catch. Like it's really remarkable. I mean, this Olave is out there on the street. From what I hear, like that kid, if he got with a really good offense, he would explode too. But you watch Ibuka and Jackson Smith and Jigba and these guys, they're good, man.
Yeah,
Really.
Ohio State, man, they know they know receivers, man. It's unbelievable what they do. God, it really.
They don't even recruit a receiver at Ohio State unless he runs under 4.4. They don't even put him on the radar screen.
It's unbelievable. And the kid that's there now, he's going to be another one, man.
Jeremiah, yeah.
Oh, my God. He'll be the next one. What do you make of the division, NFC East, and where are you at with each of those teams?
I think they're all flawed. The Giants are going to have a tough test in Denver this weekend against that pass rush. It's going to be tough. But I mean, defensively, maybe they can keep it close, the way the Jets did last week. Jets held Denver to 13 points and played great defense over in London. But, Washington looks flawed. Defensively, they don't look great. Without Terry McLaurin, they don't really have an explosive element to their offense. And Debo's been banged up like he has been over the last couple of years. So, I mean, I don't think they're great. Dallas, his offense is very, very good, and they're going to get better when CD gets back. They're very good. But defensively, I mean, they're a sieve. And so the Eagles, I mean, they have their issues. I mean, they're a 17-point offense right now. And they're not going to be great if they can't, start scoring more than 17 points. And if defensively have all the holes defensively that they have, if they don't start fixing some of these holes. And so they're going to be a flawed team, and maybe it all change this weekend. Everything can change in an instant. So we'll see if they can go to Minnesota to take care of business. And if they do, they're going to get themselves, a good stretch of, being able to win some games.
All right, buddy. When are you out? Tomorrow morning?
I'm leaving tomorrow afternoon. Heading back, heading out to the Twin Cities. I'm really excited about doing this game. I got a good stretch of games coming up. I've got Indy and Pittsburgh. Oof. I've got New England and Tampa Bay. I've got the Eagles and Giants. I got nothing but great games coming up.
Oh, that's awesome. Are you doing the Thanksgiving? You usually do Thanksgiving stuff.
I'm doing like the studio stuff on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But I want to do Texas A&M on that Friday. So I'm going down to Austin for Thanksgiving, doing everything down there. And I'll do the post game after all three games. But then Texas A&M, like it's going to be a doozy.
That's a great game. Hey,
Darrell
that's
Royal
nasty.
Stadium, man.
Yeah.
Darrell Royal, the kingdom.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
That's going to be nasty. Yo, you ever see anything like the Franklin stuff, Penn State? I mean, it's unbelievable, dude. This was a national championship contender, a team that was in the playoffs last year, and you bring back the quarterback, both running backs. The tight end's great, but you
first round draft picks on the offensive line.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, Baldy.
I honestly, I went out there to Tyler Warren's pro day, and I was around, Coach Franklin and talked to him quite a bit. I honestly thought they could compete with Ohio State, with Georgia, with some of the, better teams in the country with what they had. They were all there that day. All the kids were there. Like I saw Drew Aller throwing. Like I thought they'd have a real shot. But to write a check for $49 million, I mean, that's the Pagula money. Like, it's just like, free money, man. Write a check for $49 million to go away.
It's funny because
are they going to get Matt? I mean, are they going to chase Matt down?
So I'll tell you this. Now,
you don't have to say. You don't have to.
Yeah, but you know the deal. Like Pat Kraft's the AD. Pat and Matt were together. Temple. Matt was a walk-on at Penn State. Matt met his wife Julie
Wife
at Penn State.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's his dream job. Now,
Yeah.
I know, like right now, like, you know, listen, he fell in love again with coaching in Lincoln. He loves it out there, right?
Yeah.
It's only because his dream job is out there and he's just trying to get rid of distractions. Like, you know, I might even want to think about it. But the thing that Franklin did, the him getting fired, it got Signetti freaking $80 million.
Locked up. Yeah. No, next day. They backed up the Brinks truck. They weren't going to let him get out of there.
It's unreal. Meanwhile, you got Belichick, who is a 10-point underdog to Cal tonight. And Cal is horrible. It's unbelievable.
Listen, because the coaching carousel this year is going to be, there's going to be more seats in college and pro football this year than we've ever seen before.
Yeah. I think it's time for you to take over a program.
I'm good right here, Coach. I got my coffee here. I'm good.
Have a safe trip, brother. We love you. You're the greatest.
Yep. All right, see you guys.
Here he is.